Hello, everyone. This is Ria. So I wish to address something today in terms of the recent pandemic crisis. Because this has come to my attention recently, and I'm sure it has come to many other people's attention. So what I wish to talk about is why is this pandemic not ending? So first, first thing first, I understand how many of you feel is because I'm in the same situation as everyone else. We are on lockdown. And it's not present. And we're annoyed. Many things that we feel stressed, we feel restricted. But the government did not have us go on lockdown without good reason. And it's because people feel that they're locked down. Not everyone, but I think majority, quite a lot of us feel this way, and they have enough. This is their mentality. They think there is enough. I have enough. I want this to end. Hence, there's a lot of protesters happening, and many people are rebelling and not following the regimen of the government, which makes it a lot harder for this pandemic to end. So here is an example that is happening in Canada, in Toronto. So as you can see, Ford, who is the mayor, if I'm correct, I haven't been in Canada for a long while, so I don't really know much. But so Ford calls Queen's Park protesters irresponsible, reckless, and selfish. What he's saying is true because they've been selfish in having this whole gathering, which until the consequences of it is that there's a high possibility of one of those protesters being infected by this pandemic. And once they go home, they infect the rest of the family. It's a cycle. So the government wants to break this cycle in order for us to end this pandemic. But us, the people, the citizens, are not listening. Though, to be fair, when has any of us really listened? This is a really reasonable question. If you were to look around you, you see signs, you see rules that was placed there for a good reason, and you see people breaking it. You're asking them, are they even bothering to read what it says or listen? So this is the question. It's a reasonable one. So I'm going to read this article. So, a furious Doug Ford whipped anti-lockdown protesters who showed up outside Queen's Park on Saturday, a bunch of yahoos who are putting the health and welfare of every Ontarian at risk. Ontarian basically is people who's living in Ontario. And Ontario is a province in Canada for those who are not from Canada. Let's move on. The group was demonstrating against emergency measures enacted by the government in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was forced businesses to shut down and mandated that people stay home and practice social distancing to prevent the spread of the virus. The protesters, which was estimated to be about 100 people, carried signs calling for Ford to reopen the Ontario economy and that self-isolation was against their freedom of choice. Toronto police says no one was ticketed at the protest because they were spaced out enough to comply with the physical distancing requirement. We see these people who are obviously absolutely irresponsible. It's reckless to do what they're doing, said a visibly irate Ford. We have health care. workers down the street at these hospitals working around the clock to protect the community. That's the reason we are able to see a flattening of the curve. But then we have a bunch of yahoos out in the front of Queen's Park sitting there protesting that the place isn't open and they are breaking the law and putting everyone in jeopardy, putting themselves in jeopardy, putting workers in jeopardy, and God forbid one of them ends up in the hospital down the street. Ford said he understands the frustration some people are feeling following the month-long shutdown, but stressed we have to remain responsible when it comes to easing the restriction in place. It's irresponsible, reckless, and selfish. It just burns me up. We work so hard and we have a bunch of yahoos out there thinking it's all right. Imagine if every single Ontarian resident acted the way they're doing right now, it would set us back months, Ford said. While he can't direct the police on what to do, he noted they are breaking the law and he's sure they will take care of it. City of Toronto bylaws call for people to remain 2 meters apart when they are in a park or public square. Those found violating the physical distancing measure face a fine of 1,000 Canadian dollars. So as you can see, I completely agree with what Ford is saying, even though I'm not a fan of him. He's being reasonable here. He's at most putting himself in everyone's shoes because he's going through it and he wants this pandemic to end as well, but it's making it hard for him and other people to do so when we are not even trying to help the situation. I'm not trying to preach here, but the thing is, I'm frustrated as well by being in this lockdown as many of you guys. But I think very carefully. I understand the situation, and the thing is, yeah, this sucks. But I have to suck it up because if I want this pandemic to end, I might as well follow the regimen that the government is giving us. And it's for a good reason. I'm not happy with the situation? No, I'm not. But what else can you do for this pandemic to end? I'm just going to have you watch the video here.
We have, a bunch of yahoos out in the front of Queen's Park sitting there protesting that the place isn't open, as they're breaking the law and putting everyone in jeopardy, putting themselves in jeopardy, putting the workers in jeopardy, and God forbid one of them end up in the hospital down the street. We're better than this. We're better than this as a people, as a province. We've proved it. And, then you have these people that want to protest. Hey, I understand that people want to get out there, but we have to be responsible. We have to make sure we've come such a long way that we protect the health and the well-being of every single person in this province. And there's no one that wants to open up the economy more than I do and everyone else, but we're going to do it responsibly. We're going to do it through the guidance of our Chief Medical Officer of Health and consultation with municipalities, consultation with our health team. But we've come such a long way. And then we have these people that want to break ranks with 14.5 million people and just go rogue. Again, it's irresponsible, reckless, and it's selfish. It just burns me up. We work so hard, and we have a bunch of yahoos out there thinking it's all right. Imagine if every single Ontarian resident acted the way they're doing, or what they're doing right now. It would set us back months. That's what they're doing. They're setting us back months by doing these reckless protests. I don't even know who these people are, but obviously they don't care about everyone else in Ontario. But thank you for that question. Sorry for being so upset, but everyone's worked so hard. And again, the healthcare workers are amazing. I'm going to be over there thanking the healthcare workers today.
So I do hope you guys whether you agree with me or not on this, I know it frustrates many of you, but we have to act responsibly in this time of situation. And this is not a time for us to be acting out just because we want to. It's a time for us to be more, at most, understanding of the situation and act out responsibly. You want this pandemic to end? Then please follow the government regime. Please follow them. There's a reason why such law, such act is happening. Because they are trying their best to break this cycle and have us to break this cycle so this pandemic can end. Because if we don't act as responsible adults or follow the regime, this pandemic could have lasted for 3 years, same as the Spanish influenza or Spanish flu. It could end up like that if we don't follow the regime. And I do not want this pandemic to last 3 long years, okay? I want this to end as soon as possible, as many of you guys want to. So please, do your part in helping to end this pandemic. Don't be a weirdo just because you are frustrated, because everyone else is also frustrated, okay? And this goes the same for celebrities. Because we're all human here, and we're meant to be reunited, follow what needs to be done to end this pandemic, and that is follow this regime of the lockdown at this moment. I'm sorry if I'm preaching, I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but what is happening is just ridiculous, and it just burns me up as well, of the selfishness that people are doing. So please, wear a mask, do social distancing, quarantine yourself, do what is recommended by the government. Anyways, if you like this video, if you agree with me, hit the like button, hit the bell button for more notification of more of my videos when I upload it. Subscribe to me if you wish to, and I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and follow the government regime. Peace out.